This is the afternoon video update. This is for Thursday, the 20th of July. I'm James Spann, watching big storms over Tennessee that might push into the Tennessee Valley over the next few hours of extreme North Alabama. Otherwise, it's just hot and it's just humid, the dog days of summer. But the weather's going to change in a big way by the time the weekend gets here. So a lot of things to talk about today. This is the upper air look. Upper high stretched out across the deep south. Pretty classic for summertime. The mid-latitude westerlies up on top of the heat ridge. Got a trough coming through the Great Lakes. Here's the visible satellite view, and you can see that the sky is mostly sunny for most of Alabama today. But we've got some big storms to the north. This is the composite at 2:30, doing this update live at 2:43. And you can see those big storms that are lurking over southern middle Tennessee. In fact, let's go right to the radar, and you can see we've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for counties just north of the Alabama-Tennessee state line. And some of those storms could clip the northeastern part of Alabama over the next few hours. In fact, we have a severe thunderstorm watch that is currently in effect for parts of the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama. That will be in effect this evening until, I believe, 9 o'clock Central Time. In fact, let me throw that watch box up, and you can see that. That's the watch. That is until 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. And that includes, again, the Tennessee Valley. The southernmost counties would be Franklin, Lawrence, Morgan, Marshall, DeKalb, and Cherokee, the counties there in yellow. And the main concern with these storms, like recent days, strong straight-line winds. There might be some hail. There's no really major tornado threat. There's always some minimal chance of a brief, very small spin-up tornado, but strong winds, the main concern there. It looks like the bulk of those will be moving into northern Georgia, but again, clearly if you're in the Tennessee Valley, just be watching radar trends this evening. So heat levels, again, that's not that unusual for July, low to mid-90s. It's supposed to be hot as a firecracker this time of the year. We've got 91 for Cullman, Birmingham and Tuscaloosa 94, 95 for Montgomery and Dothan, 94 for Mobile. And, of course, the dew points are sky high, so the heat indices are up there. We've got heat advisories in effect for much of the state. Those stretch back over to parts of Texas and also, of course, in the southwest United States. So here's the broad severe weather risk for the rest of today and tonight. We have enhanced risks, one over northern Ohio and some of the adjacent states. We've also got an enhanced risk over parts of Colorado, Kansas, and the Oklahoma Panhandle. The broader risk runs from the southern plains over to the Atlantic coast. In Alabama, we have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk this evening and tonight for areas north of a line from near the Shoals down to about Cullman and Heflin, areas in yellow. Then a marginal risk, level 1 out of 5, down to Hamilton, Birmingham, and Roanoke. And again, the core concern is going to be up there in northeast Alabama for the possibility of strong straight-line winds. So this is tomorrow, and again, keep in mind this outlook extends through 7 a.m. Saturday. And we now have a level 2 out of 5 risk over about the northern half of the state, a level 1 out of 5 risk deep into South Alabama, all the way down to Dothan. And that will be an organized batch of storms in advance of a surface front. And some of those could begin to creep in here as early as tomorrow afternoon. We think the bulk of those will be tomorrow night into the early morning hours Saturday. And again, the same concern, strong straight-line winds. And then after 7 a.m. Saturday, there is a marginal risk, level 1 out of 5, south of a line from near Tuscaloosa to Pelham to Roanoke, areas there in darker green. And the better chance of showers and storms during the day Saturday, shifting down to areas south of Interstate 20. And certainly not going to rain all day, but a strong storm a possibility. Rain for the next 7 days, valid through Thursday morning of next week. The amounts between 1 and 2 inches for much of the state. And again, really after the batch of storms tomorrow night into Saturday, the weather looking fairly dry Sunday through the first half of next week, with maybe the exception of South Alabama, where scattered storms will continue. Tropical weather, generally speaking, it's quiet. We have a tropical storm by the name of Don out in the middle of nowhere, and it's going to stay in the middle of nowhere, and a tropical wave in the eastern Atlantic. Don has winds of 50 miles an hour. It'll be dissipating or becoming post-tropical by Sunday night over the North Atlantic, the colder waters, far from land. And concerning the tropical wave in the eastern Atlantic, again, the Hurricane Center keeping the chance of this developing down at 20%. It will be fighting a lot of dry air and a lot of subsidence or sinking air. And that should prevent this thing from developing at least for the next 7 days. But as always, we'll keep an eye on that. Model fans, here's the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow at 4. Upper high over Arizona, troughing over the northeast into surface front, coming down toward Interstate 40. And the models are a little faster, suggesting we might see some storms as early as tomorrow afternoon over the northern quarter of the state. And those will sag southward tomorrow night. And again, those could pack a punch with a chance of strong straight-line winds. Before the storms arrive, we'll be in the 90s, mostly mid-90s, with a partly sunny sky. Saturday, the front continues to sag southward. And the better chance of showers and storms on Saturday shifting to areas south of Interstate 20 during the day. And even there, it's not going to rain all day. And the heat really comes down. Highs in the 80s for the northern half of the state. We'll certainly take that. And then Sunday, for North Alabama, a drier air mass in place. We're going to see lows in the 60s, the high close to 90. Scattered showers and storms mainly south of US 80 on Sunday, south of that stalled front. And then next week looks kind of quiet as the ridge tries to rebuild. Monday looks kind of hot and dry. The same thing on Tuesday and the same thing on Wednesday. The first half of the week looking relatively dry. And understand there's always some risk of an afternoon storm, but they should be pretty scarce. This is a week from today, Thursday the 27th. Same story, upper high centered off to the west. And again, that looks pretty quiet. Let's go out 10 days. This is Sunday, July 30th. Upper high north and west of Alabama. And pretty standard summertime weather. Hot, humid, maybe a pop-up storm. Rain for Birmingham off the GFS ensemble. The mean is a little under 2 inches between now and the 5th of August. And we'll take that break from the heat over the weekend. 96 tomorrow. And this is for Birmingham, coming off the National Bend of Models. Then 80s Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, buddy. Lows in the 60s Sunday and Monday morning. And then we see highs creeping back in the low to mid-90s for much of next week. And hot off the presses, got the brand new CPC Outlook. This is for July 28th through August 3rd. If you're looking for a cool breeze, I mean, you'll never find it this time of the year anyway, but temperatures will likely be above average here and across much of the contiguous United States. So again, let's look at the radar. And again, we're live here on Facebook and YouTube at 2:50 Central. If you're just joining us here, we have strong to severe storms that are over the eastern half of Tennessee, moving to the east-southeast, and some of those could creep into the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama over the next several hours. The main concern, strong straight-line winds. The trajectory suggesting it might be the bulk of these will be across northern Georgia, but no doubt if you're in the Tennessee Valley, just be weather aware. Again, we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the Tennessee Valley until 9 o'clock Central Time tonight, and those storms should gradually weaken later this evening. And again, statewide, the chance of some strong storms late tomorrow and tomorrow night with a surface boundary coming in here. And all the summer storms pack a lot of lightning. We know that. But again, these storms over the next day or two will have the chance of producing some fairly strong straight-line winds. So that's it this afternoon. Don't forget a book signing Saturday in Billingsley, Jim's Pit Barbecue. US 82, right there on the Chilton-Autauga County line. It's across the line in Autauga County. We're going to be there from 10 until noon, and they got a big car show going on. It's going to be a ton of fun. And if you've ever stopped by Jim's, you know how good that food is. And we'll have all the books, the weather shirts, hats. It's going to be a great day. So come see us. Jim's Barbecue, Billingsley, right on US 82 between Prattville and Maplesville, Saturday from 10 until noon. And, of course, we invite you to watch us on the television side, ABC 3340 News, right across the hall in Studio A, this evening at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.